The National Dissemination Center for Children with Disabilities is a website where you can search various disabilities, and you can search by topic and by alphabetic order. If you look specifically at learning disabilities, you can see what are learning disabilities, how common they are, what are the signs, the evaluation process, how IDEA laws fit in, and additional information about various learning disabilities. The National Center for Learning Disabilities is another website in which you can search about learning disabilities, and you can search by stage of the disability. So if your student is struggling, or if they already have been identified with the learning disability, you can also search by age. So whether it's elementary, intermediate, high school, and they even have a section for college and adults. This website is good because it actually has a section for parents and how to deal with learning disabilities, and then also a good section about schools, like how to find a school, what the laws are about assistive technology, and other standards that apply to students with learning disabilities. The American Speech Language Hearing Association is a more like a continuing education resource for people like speech pathologists or audiologists. Um, but there's also good resources regarding disabilities under this category, and you can also find information about assistive technology for people with these kinds of disabilities. The Center for Speech and Language Disorders is a nonprofit organization that focuses on helping kids with communication disorders through family services. And this organization is good because it focuses on that idea that not all disabilities are the same, and each child needs an individual plan. It also focuses on early treatment, so attacking the problem before it gets worse. On this website, you can look for information for families, for professionals, and information for the community. The American Association of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities is another one of those sort of continuing education organizations in which you can receive credit for attending conferences and education programs. But it's also a good source for learning about intellectual and developmental disabilities. They give a good historical overview of disabilities, and you know, frequently asked questions, and they also have very informational videos on different intellectual and developmental disabilities. The National Down Syndrome Society is a great resource if you're specifically searching for information about Down syndrome. Um, you can find out about the myths and truths about Down syndrome, different resources, local healthcare resources, education resources. There's also personal stories, so people and families with Down syndrome. You can read about their stories, maybe relate to someone, and There's also lots of ways that you can support this organization: donations, just advocating Down syndrome. The National Institute of Mental Health is a amazing resource. It's pretty, I guess there's a pretty wide range of things you can research on this website. You can look at anxiety disorders, you can look at ADD disorders, autism disorders, eating disorders, health things like HIV, suicide prevention, depression, information for kids and adults, men and women. So there's lots of different things that you can look at and just different avenues to even begin your research on mental health. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is another good website if you're looking at a variety of mental illnesses. You can look up illnesses, treatments, whatever support programs there are. And there's also this interesting thing that they've done where you can look at kind of the legal issues in your state and what your state has done to improve mental health. I think it's also good to remember that, especially as a new teacher, you don't only have to turn to these websites and publications for help, but you can also look to your peers because they've been through it. So I'm sure they've had a lot of experience and would be more than willing to help you. And another thing is reaching out to professionals in the community. Reach out to a speech pathologist or a doctor or a therapist. Everybody wants to see these students succeed in the community, and I'm sure everybody is more than willing to help.